single stage first. This stuff's ready. I gotta wipe it down lightly. We're gonna put one thin coat of sealer on it, and then we're gonna paint it. We got our paint right here. If you come over here, you'll see that we got our little pieces now. Instead of taping the whole car off, what I'm gonna do is I went ahead and double back tape that with 2-inch tape. I'm gonna use my Mini Jet Seda touch-up gun, and I'll go ahead and put variable coats on it to cover it on very low pressure, you see, thin coats, because that would be a big tape job just to tape that off. And the wind's blowing really good today, so we shouldn't get any overspray on there. So before you Before you even do anything like that, the first thing you want to do is you come over here, and I'm sure most people that have watched my videos have seen me do this. And on something like this, you don't need to use a lot. Charlie made sure that that was sanded real good. I'm just using a couple dribbles, and the only reason I'm wiping this off is because we've been touching it with our hands after we went to eat lunch. So I'm just going to wipe it down lightly. And see, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of paint in here, okay? Even though that this is covered, I still want to paint it just like factory, see? Does that make sense, Charlie? Uh-huh. See, I don't want to use a real thick coat. Sometimes if you use too much wax and grease remover, it causes problems. It's better to use a thin coat if you can get away with it. Okay, so see, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of paint on that. If you notice, look at there, Charlie. Okay, it doesn't. And I noticed Charlie looks like he washed this off. Yeah, of course. Now, you saw me use wax and grease remover on this, am I right, Charlie? Yep. Okay, the unknown painter, the inexperienced painter, the guy sitting at home, the guy that wants to learn would not know how to clean that. They would consider, okay, well, let me get the wax and grease out of that. Do not use wax and grease remover on plastic. What you want to use, what you use on plastic is good old rubbing alcohol. Okay? You do not use anything but rubbing alcohol. And on rubbing on plastic, you want to make sure that it's very, very wet. So the plastic will actually absorb in it and then pull all the contaminants out. See? So on plastic parts, do not ever use, okay? There you go, look at that. You don't want to use wax and grease remover because that will actually ruin the plastic and it'll be atrociously full of fish eyes and contaminants. Do you see there? Yep. You see what that's doing, Charlie? It's pulling out the residues and the mold, fucking shit and all the other crap, that's left behind. Because we don't even know how old these things might be. 25 years old. We don't fucking know. They might have been sitting in that package for 25 years waiting for somebody to buy it. And Philly's having to be the lucky guy. So, there you go. Now if you look at those, you can see that has a very good, clean, dull finish to it. Okay, everybody out of the paint booth. Well, we got everything painted, but now what we got to do, okay. See, this is, like I said, this is a pretty fucking close concourse restoration. And the situation you have is, even though it's a semi-concourse restoration, even Mr. Semi-concourse restoration will bitch and complain, Charlie. So, these little pieces here, okay, if we lost these pieces, he would have a fucking heart attack, dude. I don't even know what they're for. It says door, something, left and right. But if you look right there in that bag, look. I guess they're obsolete. You can't find them anywhere. You'll never find them. And who fucking knows? So we got to paint those now. I didn't want to paint them. I didn't paint them with my spray gun. Even my because this is single stage paint. That means it's got hardener inside it. So that means that hardener, it'll always stay glossy shiny, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead. What we've done, we've taken us a piece of cardboard, okay? I just took me a piece of scrap cardboard, and what I did is I went ahead and got some sheetrock screws, drywall screws, and I put them up in there so I got, you know, pedestals, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take that and I'm gonna put some tape around those. You see what I'm doing here? And what that's doing, that's making that screw head fatter than it should be, see? So what I can do is take my little things and stick them on there, and we won't lose them overnight while they're drying. They won't grow feet and walk away, bud. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have something laying somewhere and it grows feet and walks away?
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my tape together, and then, did you see what happened there, Charlie? See there? Now it's on there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take some of my tape. And it's on there. So now, when I turn it upside down, can you see that, Charlie, upside down?
Yeah.
Okay, they aren't gonna fall off, so that's securing me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my little touch-up brush here, you fucking bitch. Brush is falling everywhere. Get my touch-up brush before I get rid of this paint. Once you mix hardener with single-stage urethane or acrylic enamel, once the hardener is activated in the paint is no good. You can't keep it. Are you zooming right here, Charlie? Put the camera up in the air and face down. There you go. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a nice vigorous coat, and it'll do its own thing for us, but it'll all, see how it flows together all by itself without doing anything. Oops, look at there, double check the edge. Okay, the hardest part of doing a concourse restoration, or just even any kind of, you know, high-class, high-end restoration, is the attention to detail. It's the attention to detail that's gonna make your car stand out better than everybody else's, okay? It's the attention to the detail that's gonna make your car worth more money than everybody else's, because believe it or not, this is the things that you see, okay? Your physical eye doesn't see this, okay? Are you following my brush, Charlie?
Okay.
Are you daydreaming or what? Or are you just looking like you're watching TV on the little screen there? Okay, you ready? Here we go, I got the brush now, okay? Your physical eyeball doesn't see those right there, but your mind does. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Your physical eyeball doesn't see the pieces that we painted that are behind the seats, but your mind, your subconscious mind does see them as you're glancing through the vehicle, okay? Do you see how that works, Charlie?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what we got here, we got our pieces are painted. I'm talking a little bit low because there's an echo in here, and I don't want to have to open them doors. Okay, so I'm talking a little bit lower so the echo won't fuck you, the viewer, up. Okay, thank you. Okay, we got our little plastic pieces painted. If you come over here, are you walking with me, Charlie? Don't get too close. I don't want dust all over. Okay, we got the back sides of our top caps, rear caps painted. Okay, we got those painted, ready to clear coat. Okay, we can leave them just like that, they'll be fine. And you can see that the top halves of the doors are painted, ready to clear coat. Okay, now we'll wait about 3 to 4 days, then we'll tape it off and paint the rest. I went ahead and put a coat of paint here, watch the strap.